have Sie German preparing to take the right here. Back on the left, here we have very good offensive going. Unfortunately, the infantry charging into the anti-aircraft guns. The jumbo tanks and anti-tank guns that psyrinox have are beating back the King Tigers. And looks like they're holding their own at the moment. He makes anti-tank position actually, which I thought was a pretty decent idea. And here we have Laydee coming in with some air support. Very timely arrival. Manages to push those infantry and anti-aircraft guns out of the forest that were holding up his infantry. So he's going to be able to take over this vALEN's main base here. And here we have a mad dash for the center by omardiaz's very stacked heavy infantry, and my force is failing to hold him off here. I send these guys out to try and take out his anti-tank guns, and they take out a couple and then just kind of sit there and get annihilated by this incoming artillery. So I get fairly pushed back in the middle here, but Omar does not make good his advantage actually, so I'm able to hold this until he gets some reinforcements there. Back on the right, here's my failed tank assault. His King Tigers push me back, and I just leave my armored recon there to scope things out. And Sie German bringing in the medium bombers to basically take out this base, I believe. Memory serves me right. Let's go back to the left real quick. The left, it looks like psyrinox just mopping up this guy's base, putting out the infantry to cap his admin and headquarters, while vALEN, for some reason, keeps all of his units just sitting here, though he does have a secondary and an artillery and anti-air base, which probably saving him. And here I really think that my armored recon and my anti-aircraft guns just save this position for me at the moment, though he does pull back his units for whatever reason. He honestly could have probably taken this if he'd tried, but he pulls his units back to the center here and pulls up some Pershings and more anti-tank. And I pull in my reinforcements, which are more Strokovies and T-34s, and some more armored recon. I always like to keep a bunch of spares of those just in case they go down, because you will get ambushed if you don't have them. Here we have Sie German paradropping some units in. They might be able to take that headquarters. I think they actually do. Speed it up a little. And there we go. Took over the headquarters again. I think vALEN manages to pull back his infantry to recap that headquarters, but it's enough to pull back his forces, so it's a pretty decent assault. We have managed to take out the admin buildings, and Sie German is like complaining, but he's like, oh no, I tried to save those so I get some more money, so he was pretty disappointed about that loss. Here I think someone had brought in bombers and just bombed the hell out of the remaining rangers that were there, and I pushed my tanks too far up forward and have to pull back for these Pershings. I really wanted his Pershings to come just a little closer so they could get ambushed, but they stayed just out of range of my men, so that was very unfortunate. Here, my heavy infantry has some bad pathing decision. They decide, I think I'd place them here, and they decide to go all the way around the road because it's faster instead of just the slow route. That's probably my own fault for not shift clicking and giving them the direct waypoint. And here vALEN surrenders as psyrinox has taken over his full base, and Sie German has basically bombed much of his Italian base here. So now it's down to a 2v4. Fortunately, this name, this awkward name, omardiaz managed to hold us off for a pretty good amount of time, and we finally managed to get our score back to higher than the enemies. So fast forward a little bit here. So I think now it's just us regrouping and scouting out the enemy here. They have a lot of anti-air here. Just lots of bombers. So we just shot up like 200-300 points, I'm sure. He sneakily moves in some heavy infantry there that I didn't even see until I watched this replay again. So we don't really do much there. We got psyrinox taking the island hopping approach here and moving under cover of radio silence to take out omardiaz's base. Though little does he know, omardiaz has basically just abandoned that base and put most of his forces out here. And here begins the ungodly spam of rangers. Get the final count on how many units come here. Look at all that, Jesus. Zoom in. Oh. Like a friggin' stream of rangers just heading out. And I see this, I'm like, holy Jesus. I think I put like 2 or 3 beacons on this over the game. I'm like, okay, we need some bombers, please. I once again get pushed back in this forest, though it wasn't due to the infantry this time. It was due to his stack of 8 M40s just pounding away at my infantry there once they get revealed. So I try and counter artillery, and it doesn't work too well because they are armored artillery and mine are just old-fashioned tubes. I managed to keep his infantry from pushing in any further. His decoy army there just seems to disappear for whatever reason. Yeah, look at this stack. Jesus. Okay, where'd it go? There you go. 57 units. Most of them are rangers. Quick zoom in. Look at all that. Insane. So basically we just have them bunkering down with M40 and ranger spam, and I'm just trying to keep them held there in the middle, though they're not really making much of an offensive. I don't think they do for most of the game, so I basically just sit here for the first 20 or 30 minutes, and then the end 20 minutes or so I just, well, you'll see. Fast forward here, so you don't have to sit through all this. We have a massive airplanes on the side here. Let's see what they do. He moves in 3 Vickers. I think it's mainly just to scout out this base, and then his bombers, fighter bombers, come in here, tear the plates apart. Yeah, 3, 4, maybe 5 buildings with that air run. Though he loses his bombers on the way back due to flying straight through all the anti-air. It's pretty good sacrifice, I believe. 57. Jesus. That is just beastly. I start making some advanced tank destroyers to take care of his Pershings. This probably wasn't necessary, but at the time I think I was overestimating how many Pershings he had.